Hey kiddies, this week on the triple feature we pay tribute to the late, the great Harold Ramis.
Warming up, yeah, I'm your weatherman.
As I'm sure you heard last week, Harold Ramis passed away, which is a damn shame because he was an incredibly funny individual. For people my age, early 30s, he left an indelible mark with movies like Caddyshack and Ghostbusters and Club Paradise and Groundhog Day and everything. And this week, what I thought we'd do was I came up with two ideas that might be fun to remember him, which I think the best way to do that is through his work, which speaks for itself. And so I had two ideas. The first of which is the Bill Murray, Harold Ramis triple feature, because as great as both of these comedic geniuses are, like Lennon and McCartney, I don't think they were ever any better than when they were working together. They had known each other. They were both Chicago guys. And I think the first movie they ever worked on together was Meatballs, which Ramis wrote. But we're going to focus on the movies where they were, much more actively together, which would be Stripes, Groundhog Day, and then Ghostbusters. Stripes, Ramis co-wrote the script for Ivan Reitman, and he co-starred with Bill Murray as Russell Zisky to Bill Murray's Jeff Winger. No, not Jeff Winger. John Winger. And they were really, really a lot of fun. And it was interesting for me to see it because I had grown up on Ghostbusters with Egon Spengler there. And it was kind of a shock to see that Ramis was acting in Ghostbusters because he's almost nothing like Egon Spengler in real life. He was just a very, very charming, friendly individual. And this comes out with Russell Zisky, and he has some of my favorite lines in the whole movie, like when they're asked if they're homosexual, and his response is, "No, we're not homosexual, but we are willing to learn." And he ends up getting to do a lot of the action stuff later in the film and just, acquits himself very well. Second, we have Groundhog Day, which may be his masterpiece, writing and directing. He co-wrote it with Danny Rubin, whose contributions to the script cannot be understated. But Harold also directed it, and he directed Bill Murray in one of his most memorable roles, probably second, no, I can't say second, probably third to Peter Venkman and Carl Spackler, the groundskeeper in Caddyshack, which Ramis co-wrote and directed Caddyshack as well. But Groundhog Day, I don't need to explain to you why it's important. It's Groundhog Day. It's an incredible film. It's one of the funniest things you'll ever see, but it's also one of the most existential and philosophical movies you could ever hope to see. It's very, very interesting. A lot of that heart comes from Harold Ramis. I was watching it this week, and with his commentary track, and it's just very, very lovely listening to him. And he has a little cameo as the neurologist that Phil goes to see to make sure that there's nothing horribly wrong with his brain when he starts reliving the day over and over and over again. And then finally, of course, if you're going to do Bill Murray, Harold Ramis, it doesn't get better than Ghostbusters. I hesitate to even suggest that Groundhog Day might be a better movie, but the nostalgia factor for Ghostbusters puts it way over the edge. It's granted, a lot of it is Dan Aykroyd's writing. Once again, you had Ivan Reitman directing. He had directed Stripes, but Ghostbusters is really Dan Aykroyd's baby. But a lot of the Venkman character, which is, the center of the film, comes from Bill Murray and Harold Ramis's ability to, write for him, and then Bill Murray's ability to run with that. And I mean, it's Ghostbusters. If you don't like Ghostbusters, don't ever watch my videos again. Just go away and live whatever sad life you're going to. I mean, the world's going to be sad enough without any new Harold Ramis movies. But so if you want to do the creme de la creme, that would be the Bill Murray, Harold Ramis triple feature, Stripes, Groundhog Day, and Ghostbusters. But I also thought of another idea, which it was going to be 3, but it turns out there's 4 good ones, which is, oh look, there's Harold Ramis. These were 4 movies in which Harold makes little cameos to great effect. I thought there were 3, but there were actually 4 came up in my searching. The first is Airheads, the great comedy crime film with Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, and Steve Buscemi as aspiring rock musicians. And after they've taken the radio station hostage, the police send in a phony record executive who all of a sudden is played by Harold Ramis. He just literally pops his head through the door. And he's later tricked with the trick question, who would win in a fight, Lemmy or God? Lemmy is God, come on. And is so sent packing. Then he pops up again, and as good as it gets, he plays the doctor that Jack Nicholson's Melvin Udall sends over to examine Helen Hunt's kid and maybe get him back on the mend so she can get back to the restaurant serving Jack eggs and bacon. So, he doesn't go completely mental. He's in Orange County, the Jack Black, Colin Hanks coming-of-age film. And you can't leave this one out because he ends up getting dosed with ecstasy and trying to come on to everything that moves. And Harold Ramis can really go sleazy if you need him to, which is the exact opposite of what I would end the little cameo marathon of Harold Ramis with, which is Knocked Up. He plays Seth Rogen's dad, who gives him a lot of fatherly and sagely advice as to all the joy and fun adventure that can come with parenthood. Which, I mean, it's a nice way for him to go out. I mean, I know he has a little. He gave himself a role in that Year One movie that no one really saw, but I would go with those 4 because it's kind of the wide range of his comedic ability, and also just the stuff with Bill Murray. It's a shame that after Groundhog Day they had a bit of a falling out and didn't really make another movie together. I think the most they ever worked on together was the Ghostbusters video game, and God knows if they actually, recorded them together. But they were great while they were together and while their interests lined up. And either way, it's just a damn shame that Harold Ramis is gone. We are down to we're down to 3 Ghostbusters. It feels almost as bad as when we lose a Beatle because it's the Ghostbusters, man. But these guys are never really gone as long as we watch their movies and enjoy the great times that they gave us. So that's what I'm going to be doing with the rest of my day. And I hope you guys get around to watching some Harold Ramis too. I'll see you guys next week when we begin in earnest Nicolas Cage month. See you then.